reason I wanted to just send you a personal video was to just explain to you the entire process. And one of the reasons why I thought I can approach you directly was, because we felt before surrogacy was banned in international surrogacy was banned in 2015 onwards. But I think this is the time where legally we can still go ahead with the program, and I'll explain that to you in the video ahead. But yeah, thank you for the opportunity, and I'd like you to consider this proposal. And when I'm in Delhi, I'll come down and meet you as well. But I think this was something that I could sort of send you, and you could consider this, till the time the lockdown is going ahead. In 2016 onwards. So pretty much after that, we went to Thailand. I was able to go there. I was in a lucky position to go to Thailand, and subsequently to Cambodia and Mexico. And eventually in 2016-17, we went to Kenya. And that's where I've been. So Kenya, Ukraine, and USA in 2018 onwards. One of the main reasons why I would like to sort of invite you on board is basically we can still make embryos in the country. I have been doing that for the last 3 years and exporting them legally via ICMR to countries such as Ukraine, US, and Kenya. Now I'll take Kenya as an example in this video because I've done almost 100 cases in Kenya so far. And the countries that we have so far managed to have clients from with proper due exit have been all these countries that you can see over here on top. So all these countries that you can see here, we have managed to get an exit for these people legally, absolutely fine, within the time frame, exactly like the way we used to do that earlier when surrogacy was legal in India at that time, and perhaps in Nepal as well. In fact, Kenya as a country has got much more quicker exits for the country, for the citizens of those particular countries, simply because they are not so overworked in that country. The embassies are very cooperative. The costs are very reasonable. In fact, they will be much cheaper than the costs you would find in a country like Nepal as well. So I think just to list some of the reasons why I feel, again, using Kenya as an example would be that if you look at the presence, we've been there since 2015 onwards. We've had about 100 pregnancies and deliveries in Kenya. We work with Fertility Point over there, and Dr. Sarita Sukija is the one who does all the embryo transfers for us. After that, we own the entire ecosystem over there. In fact, we are the only agency that is operating right now in Kenya. And so we don't want to get lost in Ukraine. Obviously, US also is another different ball game altogether. But if you look at the maximum clientele, they cannot afford US. Ukraine obviously is banned for them because they are either gay or they could be a single parent as well. So for them, the only option available is either Colombia, Mexico, or Kenya. Now, Colombia has had a bad reputation as well. It's very hard to get surrogate mothers, and it's exactly on the other side of the globe as well. So now Kenya is right in the middle of the globe in that sense. So for a Chinese guy traveling to Kenya, it's a direct flight from Bangkok or from Beijing as well, so it's not too bad. Similarly from Australia, it's a long flight. I do accept that, so they can come to India, create the embryos and go back, and then only head back to Kenya to pick up the baby as well. That's one of the options as well. Now, if you look at the IPs we've done, I've said that we've done the IPs from more than 15 countries, so that is one thing, we can tick that box. We have a good infrastructure there in Kenya. When I say infrastructure, we have our own surrogate home, we have our own manager, we have our own caretaker, a nurse, and pretty much even we have our own car and a vehicle as well. So surrogates are housed with us. I just wanted you to say hello to clients. His name is Jim. He's from US, so he'll come in 4 months' time. So you can say hi, Jim. Hi, Jim. And Jim also asked me to say hello to her. So yeah. That's good to see everyone healthy and happy. Thank you. It's very nice to meet you. I wanted to say hello to James. James and Ryan. They will be coming, when the delivery happens. So they wanted to come say hello to you, and I've got something gift for you as well. So, thank you. So thank you. And you want to say something to James and Ryan as well? Not now. And hello, maybe a hello. Yeah. Okay, but they are in Australia, so they are in Melbourne. Okay. So Kenya, although it's an African country, you will find surrogates are very healthy. In fact, Kenya is known for its athletics because of the reason that the country is quite healthy compared to all other African countries as well. Similarly with US obviously is a different ball game. The waiting period over there is different. But again, if a client wants to come to India and then wants to ship the embryos back to US, it's cheaper definitely, but it doesn't make sense for them to come to India. So I find a lot of the clients that I have, almost 95% of the clients that I have, tend to come to India. We create the embryos for them. We take due ICMR permissions and we ship them to either Kenya. 90% of my clients go to Kenya, and 10% of the clients are either Ukraine, or they end up going to US as well. So these are the three countries that I'm targeting. Now, as far as the egg donors are concerned, we get Caucasian egg donors from Ukraine or from Russia or from US, depending on their budgets as well. Now, my proposal, if you look at the finances, is that we charge a fixed fee of say $27,000 or $28,000, and you charge the client. It's up to you, but I think about $7,000 would be your share, and in that you have to make the embryos for the client, and then you just hand it over to us, and we take care of everything from shipping to the embryo transfer to the pregnancy management, delivery, all the legal aspects, the exit procedures, immigration, etc. All those things that you don't have to worry about. We have a dedicated team in Kenya, in Ukraine, looking after these aspects as well. Obviously, the price points are different, or the price packages are different in Kenya and in Ukraine. Lastly, I wanted to give you a live example of a client that we have done. So you'll find that this person, his name is Eric, he's a Chinese national. I'm just taking one of the most difficult cases because I feel that getting an Australian out of the country, or an American out of the country, or a Canadian citizen out of the country, or an Israeli out of the country is relatively easy. But I feel getting a Chinese client to come to India to make the embryos, we then ship them across to Kenya. We had the pregnancy, and now pretty much they're back home in Beijing as well. The other good thing is that we have partners all over the world. So for example, you get a query from Ireland. Now, how do you get them to sign up with us? So we have our office in Ireland, so they can contact a parent who's been through with us in Ireland, in Kenya. So you hand over the query to them if you want to do that, and share some percentage with them when they convert that, so they can get that package from them as well. They charge a consultancy fee based on their, whatever they feel is correct. Or else you can still have the call center in India where you manage your clients like the way international clients were managed earlier by our office as well. So that's the modus operandi in short. Similarly, if you have a client in US, for example, then we have an office in New York. They can contact our ex-clients in New York, get in touch with them, and they get a fee for doing the counseling and explaining the process to the prospective IPs as well. Similarly, in Australia, we have a client, so they can talk to a client in Australia as well. Similarly, in the UK, then I've got someone in China as well, and I've got someone in Germany, I've got someone in Norway. So these are the countries where people can give us the testimonials. And apart from that, I just wanted to list some testimonials of the clients we've done in Kenya. This is one is from Australia. Then we have this client from the US. So at the end of the video, I'll give you a little bit of a video and just show you a little bit about Kenya. However, I just want to stress on the fact that when a client calls up, we do not want to force a particular country. It depends on the nationality, depends on the marital status, depends on the budget, depends on whether he or she wants to go for an Indian egg donor or a Caucasian egg donor. Now, lastly, and one of the most important points that you'd like to ask is whether surrogacy is legal in the country. Now, let me very clearly make this very clear to you that yes, surrogacy is legal in Kenya and obviously Ukraine. But Kenya, we don't have any issues with singles or gays. In Ukraine, we can only send married couples. So we create the embryos depending on their marital status. We either send them to Ukraine or we send them to Kenya. Now, Kenya, I will send you the legal opinion which has been signed by my lawyer. Now, that has been accepted by the Australian Embassy. It's been accepted by the Israeli Embassy and the US Embassy as well as the Canadian Embassy. On top of that, there's another document that you can see here which I can again send it to you by email. This is a court order that was given to us for an Irish couple, which basically bestowed the rights of the parental rights on the single father as well. And that is a big win situation as well. At the end of the day, a Chinese travel document for a Chinese client as well. So that's a copy as well. We've got, obviously the birth certificate has the name of the surrogate mother. We can't do anything about it. So singles are absolutely welcome. If it's a gay couple, we cannot have two names on it. We have to have the name of the surrogate mother, but all the legal documents that I've listed here are prepared exactly like the way we used to do that in India. We don't have the FRR services in that part of the world, but we take care of the immigration part. Similarly, in Ukraine, very similar. We create the embryos, we ship them over there. Husband and wife will have to go to that country to sign an agreement with a lawyer. If the wife is not able to travel, he can take a affidavit from the wife and then travel alone, but he has to go there in person. Whereas in Kenya, he can do it remotely. He doesn't have to go there. I mean, the couple doesn't have to go there as well. Everything happens on the email. So basically, he comes to India, we create the embryos, we ship the embryos, we do the we do the FET, we manage the pregnancy. 1 month before the pregnancy, or a week before the pregnancy, the couple goes to Kenya. We decide which hospital that he can afford or what he wants to do, where he wants to do the delivery. We complete the paperwork for the birth certificate, which takes about 3 to 4 days. All the other documents don't take more than 3 or 4 days as well. Then obviously the embassy process. Now the other good thing in this process is that we've got Poonam Jain, whom I'm sure you know Poonam very well. She will be on board with us. ICMR permissions. So as far as the legality is concerned, you have absolutely no problems. I will take care of that. Mine is a registered company in Kenya. We have a registered company in India, as well as we have a registered company in the UK and in Thailand as well. So depending on which country the clients would like to pay into, we can go with that as well. And lastly, as far as the taxes goes, I have a company in Thailand. You can pay that into, the client can pay me into Thailand. And the best part is that we can deduct only 10% by a bank transfer. So that saves you a lot of money when it comes to taxes as well. So I also have someone in Delhi, which is Dolly, who would be looking after the entire client management side of things, and I will be looking after the operations either in Kenya or in Ukraine or in the United States as well. So that was in short the presentation I wanted to give you, but I will send you a formal brochure as well. We have been doing this for the last 14 odd years, so I can tell you that we are one of the oldest companies in the world, and I've got more international experience than any other agency in the world at the moment. I can safely say that. And more than happy to put you in touch with my clients. Obviously, we will have, as I said, base offices or contact offices in UK, in Ireland, in Australia, in the US, in Spain, and in China as well. So client can be from any part of the world, as long as they are legal, as long as they don't have any criminal history. We will do a bit of a background check on them, and we can also handle IVF patients which have had HIV as well. So there's no additional cost for them as well, as long as you can charge them extra for washing the semen as well. That is something which you can add on to the cost. But apart from that, I think this is a workable model. Let's talk about it once this lockdown ends, and I look forward to working with you and the team, and taking this. I'd like to call this a cross-border surrogacy program. And I look forward to working with you and your team, and then taking this next stage with surrogacy offered to clients who can come to India, make the embryos, ship them to wherever they want to ship them to, and we take care of everything else in that part of the globe. Thank you very much.